All right, we're back, and we are still working on our thread pool system. Lee, what are we going to be doing in this video?
We're going to be adding the functionality to our static constructor for the MyThreadPool. So, as I said, this is a static method, so we've got a static constructor. And we're going to do all of the initialization for our thread pool in here. The very first thing that we want to do is set our state. We're going to set it to threadpool.starting. We need to get a thread count. If you remember several videos back, I had mentioned that we're going to look at the number of processors that are available on the machine that this program is running on and allocate that number of threads minus 1 to it. To get the number of processors, we can rely on environment.processor count. Subtract 1 from it, and that will give us our initial thread count. Now, the processor count that gets returned from here is a bit misleading. It is not just the number of processors. This count also includes the number of cores that you have in a processor. So if you have an older single core processor, the count that you will get back will be 1. But if you have a dual core or a quad core or one of the new slick hexen cores, you might get 2, 4, or 6 processors. If you have a multi-processor computer, you might get even higher numbers. 12.
Sure.
You know.
Two quads, you'd get 8.
Yeah, if you had one of those quad hexen machines, you get 24?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, man, wouldn't that be nice? So, but if you did have one of the really, really old single core processors, now, other than the fact that you should probably really consider upgrading, we want to make sure that we have at least 1 thread count, because if we allow this to get set to 0, we're not going to have any available threads ever, and anything that you add to this thread pool is not going to get done. So we'll do a check that says if thread count is less than 1, then thread count is going to equal 1. So we'll always have at least 1 thread for our thread pool to work with. Next is going to be initializing our wait handles. We're going to set that to a new wait handle array of size thread count. Now we've initialized it, but we haven't truly initialized it. We haven't set the values inside of it. So we've initialized the variable, but we haven't initialized the values inside of that variable.
Okay.
So we'll do for I equals our wait handles dot length. Then inside of here, we'll do wait handles element I equals new auto reset event. Set its initial value to false. So just like when we're resizing the array, if nothing has been initialized in that element, we want to set it to be new auto reset events. So that will take care of that. We need to initialize our queue. Queue will be a new priority queue of type func iWorker thread. You gotta love ReSharper. Alright, we also need to initialize our worker threads. This will be a new list of iWorker thread. Now to deal with our monitor thread. We're going to say monitor thread equals new thread run. So just like we did with our worker thread demonstration that we did in the last set of videos, where we create a new thread and we pass in the method that we want that thread to run.
Mm-hmm.
What we want our monitor thread to run is the functionality that we add to this run method. So we're going to just add the run method to this thread. And because this is a static thread, and we want this to also be self-starting, so we're going to say monitor thread dot start. So we're going to create it and we're going to immediately fire it off. The run is going to handle all of the management of our thread pool from that point forward. So there will be nothing else that we have to do other than queue work items up. You may want to go in and query states from time to time. If you want to get counts on your own, you can do it, but you don't have to. That's the nice thing about this. The way this is set up, it's pretty much self-sufficient. It's got all the functionality if you want to tweak it out to your particular system, but again, it's all optional. You start it, add stuff to the queue, and forget about it.
Okay.
So that will handle our constructor. The next two videos, I think two videos, it might, depending on how it goes, it might be one, it might be three, but I'm guessing it's going to be two videos. We'll split up the implementation of the monitor thread, that run method.
Okay. So that will wrap things up for this video. Thank you for watching.